Hey yo people, my name is Lex and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Now, in the previous episode we established a stable and normal route to a nearby mesa, and by nearby I mean it's forever ago and we had to go through the nether, but also we established a more or less okay route for getting hardened clay, which is very important for today's episode because in the background behind me you can already see the beginnings of our mansion, and those beginnings are humble to say the least. Yeah, I have tried some stuff, it really didn't work out. So right now I feel like we should be fixing something about it, shouldn't we? Alright, so at this point in time I tried several, okay, not several, but this particular thing that I tried was creating basically a 7 by however many upwards segments of a wall and separating them in between each other using the sandstone. Now that is the general idea, and that was the general idea before too. However, as you can see, the sandstone segments at the moment are way too thick, way too wide and way too obstructive. So right now in this video we're gonna continue, and the items just despawned. It was some trash, I didn't need it, and in this video we're gonna continue working on this idea. I think that I will have to revert to my previous one though, to the one I already shown like a couple videos ago, in a creative world. We're gonna widen up the actual wall segments, and instead of using full blocks for for decorating their sides, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use stairs. And okay, stairs are pretty frustrating, I do give you that, I admit it, but at the same time they are way better for creating separating segments, for creating segments that are looking okay. So right now what are we working with? We have 3 blocks, then an element, some kind of decorative element that will be 3 blocks wide, and that element will be either an insignia that we decided upon a couple episodes ago, or a window. Then we have another 3 blocks wide structure. So that will be the design that I will replicate for now. The entire time I will regret, yeah, and the entire time I will regret not having any way to time-lapse this, because I don't usually do this kind of stuff on camera. I honestly prefer either time-lapsing or progress updating you guys, because this feels just that much productive. But I had actually several comments on people saying that, dude, you never built on camera, and I don't know what they complain about. I mean, is that a bad thing? But at the same time, yes, I really never do that, and I should probably at the very least try. So what I am thinking right now is we need to create some kind of a bottom line for us to basically stand on while we're trying to do this. It might obstruct our vision, and we're gonna do it out of sandstone because sandstone can be auto-mined, but at the same time it might also help us see the general picture better. Now, what I'm planning is doing those, you know, letter C stuff, then put a block on top of it, and then repeat it. Just because that way we have consistent areas. A full block missing, a double block not missing, a full block missing. I don't know if that made sense to you, because it barely even made sense to myself, but I'm pretty sure that this will get us somewhere. So boop 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 boop, and let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it's kind of alright. I feel like this would look that much better if we raised it quite a bit upwards. But at the same time, if you recall from a couple videos ago, this insignia we did, the zombie head, is actually just basically a 3x3, maximum 3x4. So we don't work in with much here. This wide over design will definitely work better with a window, which we will be also doing on that particular segment. Basically, what I'm planning to do is a free segment design for a wall. Then in the middle, some kind of a design for either an entrance or a porch or some kind of design for the middle section, and then repeating the 3 designs that we have here. And those 3 designs will be insignia, plain wall, and a window, because if I get a feeling that a window will be looking kind of alright next to a door. At the same time, I'm also pondering actually getting the plain wall right next to the entrance design, because the entrance design might end up being rather complicated. But come on, it's a window. We can always remove it or move it one section away. So I don't feel like that is gonna be any sort of a problem. So let me quickly implement all of that stuff that I just said about, and we'll see what it looks like. Whee! Oh, that wasn't nice, wasn't it? Okay, let's see what we have to work with. Did we reach the height that I wanted to reach? Because obviously we have. Oh crap! Don't tell me something of importance died in that cactus. Okay. Let's see. It seems high enough to be more vertical than horizontal. That is what I'm trying to get out of it, basically. I might want to start another horizontal line of sandstone, but before I do that, I will obviously have to go and visit some kind of a beach again, because for now, this is basically all the sandstone I have. And converting the sand that I stored in the llamas for the concrete, yeah, that doesn't seem like a good idea just yet. I might need sand itself. So, just looking at this, more or less what I wanted from it. Now, for the mural, I don't know if I can replicate it by memory, and if I can, well, it's gonna be very good. If I cannot, well, what do you expect, really? Like, you've been following me for quite a while, haven't you guys? You might already know that my memory is crap. So, this is basically what we're doing, and that is the mouth or a nose, like depending on your point of view. But if we go somewhere down here, and we put a block here, a block here, a block here. Well, that's nice, I suppose. I set a block here. This has to be removed and yoinked. Come yoink yourself. Yeah, there. And we put another block here. And the question here, the question that I have is that enough of a mural? Because this, compared to the size of a wall, is pretty freaking tiny. Like, pretty freaking tiny. Like, if you look at it, it is kind of like, what is it even? Like, look at this. What's this little baby face? What's with it? Is that supposed to decorate the wall? I mean, I'm pretty sure that if it's supposed to, it should probably be like, at the very least, a block higher. But one thing that we can still do, and excuse me for crafting in place another freaking crafting bench, and my entire base by this point is a graveyard of dozens upon dozens of crafting benches. But still, one thing we still can do right now is add a little bit of a designy feature magic by attaching a bit of a mustache. Something like this, right? So on the top, and on the bottom, from this face in the wall, I want to have this kind of mustaches, kind of highlighting it, just basically adding to its weight. That's all I really want from it. I want this to look tiny bit heavier infrastructurally, because once you glaze upon it, your eye does not really hold onto it unless there's like more weight for the band. And another way of doing it would be actually doing it this way, like creating this mustache in a bit of a circular fashion. But I don't know about that either, because this way it is a circular fashion, and I don't know. It's like it created this tiny bit of an oval, really, and it looks too deliberate. Is my problem. So if we make this, if we make one go up and one go down, now that I think about it. Because I haven't tried, this is like one thing that I haven't tried out in creative yet. It's the application on practice. It kind of looks like the letter M. But I feel it's alright. I feel like this is the Go version, the one that we should be going with. So yeah, let me go get some more sandstone, because obviously we're gonna need more of it. And let me go get some sandstone slab, because obviously we're gonna need more of them too. Yeah, I'll have to move this one block higher, and I'll have to move the entire wall, and make it tiny, like one block bigger probably. But this is something we can already work with. Now the question is, do we want to leave an empty wall between the window and the mural, or do we want to leave an empty wall between the window and the entrance? And I think the entrance is the answer is we'll go with the empty wall between the mural and the window. That's just gonna look better for us right now. So it is snowing on the facade of my new house, which is festive. I'm not really complaining about this. Okay, let's do this. Whee! Sploosh! Okay, finally, that works. And yes, I do enjoy snow in this game way more than I enjoy rain, so snow on the facade is not exactly a problem. What is a problem is that right now, looking at it, that's a much bigger house that I will ever need. That is a much bigger house that I will ever need. And that is a problem, really, because as you can clearly see, like that thing right there, it's a window. And I was planning to have several stories to this house, several layers of rooms this high and this monstrous. This is an overkill, to say the least. But at the same time, a segment this wide will not look good unless it's this high. At the same time, the decorations will not good unless they're this wide. So I'm tiny bit stuck. And yeah, this is why I usually don't do a lot of building right on camera, because this is like the stuff that is basically a result. We are building on a scale that is way bigger than the player. That is pretty much the problem. Like, looking from afar, this looks like a house for a giant, and I'm guessing that we will be able to maybe fix it. I'm not sure at all. I'm not sure at all about it. Well, at the very least, the insides are going to be like spacious and like so much room for activity. That's a good thing, right? Okay, so this is tiny bit closer to the scale, but don't get me wrong, it's still literally 3 times my size. Also, you can see that the decorations for the separators are tiny bit in disarray. I am aware of that. I'm gonna fix them. I had to move them around for the window itself, for the window design. And the window design itself, it's fine. I'm guessing it's fine. As long as I follow it up by a segment like this, except empty, it should be fine. It should be alright. But one thing about it right now is it really is looking way too flat. Like, this is way too flat for my taste. There is some depth. Like, don't get me wrong, there is some depth to it, but it's like 1 block deep, and it's really like you can really tell it. But once you once you look at it, you can really kind of tell. It feels almost like a freaking advent calendar with the way it's separated. It's 2 on the grid. And that's something I don't know how to kind of walk around with right now. Yeah, but looking at it, once again, I'm left tiny bit missing the little mustaches on top and underneath the zombie insignia. Just something about them was making this so much cooler. Anyway, what should we do next? I think next we can do a much wider empty area that will serve as basically a divider. And another thing that I'm thinking of is we might actually cut down on the size of the building. Basically, we don't have to go to the mountain itself. We don't have to dig the mansion into the mountain, is what I'm talking about. Now, this part of the mansion, yeah, that we cannot cut down. That side we can make shorter, if that means that the building will end up looking better. In fact, that will actually leave us with more space to put redstone in, more space for secret entrances and whatnot. So that's a good thing, right? I mean, it is but a cheap workaround, but it is a good thing still. Progress update, despite me telling you that I didn't want to do them in this video. Yep, I'm not good at promises. Anyway, so I think I figured out at the very least a bit of a solution to our problems, and one part of that solution is to basically you make the thing with no features, without decoration, actually twice as high as the ones with decoration. Basically, I want to have it 2 stories high. And after it is 2 stories high, we will actually use that on the inside too. And the way we're gonna use it is we're gonna actually put an actual stairway inside of it. Like, this is something that you do on actual houses with like a lot of the apartments inside of them, where in case they have like a stairway that goes to one side, then to another, then to another, they will have usually this kind of a separating very tall bit that will be offline, not on the same line. Even the windows on these ones usually aren't on the same line with the windows on the main wall of the house. So that is something I want to try. That is something I want to do here. This is where the stairway is gonna go. Then there's gonna be some kind of an entrance section on that side, and after that we're gonna just mirror this design once again. This way we're gonna have 2 main wings to our mansion, and at the very least 4 stories to it, meaning basement, story number 1, story number 2, and on top of them story number 3. And probably on top of all of that we will also have a giant freaking cellar is down there, attic, which honestly I'm thinking that still, like, even with this much room for activities, even with that much stuff going around in this particular house, I will still spend all of my time either at the attic or in the basement. But the problem with that plan is actually that it is very resource heavy. You see, if I want to build this up, I will have to first, well, build this up. Yeah, that's literally what I will have to do. And while I have a lot of clay on me at the moment, the sandstone is a bit of a bottleneck. Sandstone is what is bottlenecking me right now. And to get a lot of it, I will have to establish another connection to a freaking desert. Which, yeah, there is a desert nearby the mesa, and I will have to do something about it. But right now, as I'm recording this video, it is already once again deep night, and I do not want to spend any more time on it just yet. So let me get some materials on in between the episodes. Let me think about it off camera, and for now, that's gonna be it. Thank you everybody once again for watching. This has been XP and Minecraft Bedrock Survival, to be continued. Bye bye.